Hello there! All of us, including even the biggest introverts amongst us, are sick and tired of sitting home due to quarantine lockdown. Most of us even have lists of places they will visit after all this madness is over. And today, obviously, as part of the daily allowed exercise, we'll go for a little walk around my favorite places. Now, you might be thinking it's not the best time to go out for an adventure, but rest assured, where we are going, virus will never get to. Well, truth be told, humanity will probably never get there either, so that might be your only chance. Are you coming with me? Oh, fabulous. Also, you might want to take your lunch with you because getting to the first place on foot will take you something around 570,776,256 years. First on our list is Kepler 36. Kepler 36 is a truly unique solar system consisting, as far as we've observed, of two planets, one so-called super-Earth, a rocky world similar to our own but much bigger and with much higher mass, and a mini Neptune, a small gas giant orbiting their star in almost overlapping orbits, meaning that every now and then these planets meet at their closest orbital approach of just 1.5 million kilometers. For comparison, that's only 4 times the distance between Earth and the Moon, making the night sky of Kepler 36's super-Earth look like this. Beautiful and dangerous because of gravitational interplays and tidal forces acting on both worlds. Moving on, we arrive at 55 Cancri E, another super-Earth class exoplanet, which was also first planet in history to be called a super-Earth. Now that's hot, and I mean really hot. 55 Cancri E orbits a main sequence star, or as you wish, star comparable to our own Sun. But whilst Earth at our safe and comfortable distance takes 365 days to complete one orbit, 55 Cancri E takes only 18 days, orbiting its star so close the surface of the planet is red hot, making it look sort of like a giant piece of burning barbecue briquette. I agree, Will. Let's move to something cooler. How about a planet that is a little further from its star, like 2 mass J21268140? Because astronomers initially couldn't find any visible star nearby, this Jupiter-like gas giant was thought to be a rogue planet. A planet ripped out of its solar system by a cataclysm or a gravitational slingshot caused by a massive object passing by. But it turns out our lonely planet is not as lonely as we initially thought. It turned out to have a host star some couple trillion kilometers away, about 7,000 times the distance from Earth to the Sun, making its orbit around its star almost 140 times further out than Pluto's orbit around our Sun. That's just in case you ever felt overwhelmed by the size of our own solar system. In space, like everywhere else, there is always a bigger player. Next up, we got PSR 1257 plus 12, but don't worry, that's not a mathematical question. That's a planet in a small system consisting of a host star and 2 other planets. But there is something very special about it. PSR in its name stands for a pulsar, a peculiar object left after a supernova, when dying star's core collapses under its own gravity. Pulsars are emitting powerful beams of radiation whilst rotating at bizarre speeds, making them look sort of like a wicked space lighthouse. Although whatever you do, do not follow this specific lighthouse, as its gravitational tidal forces are strong enough to rip you apart atom by atom if you ever get too close. Yikes! Leaving this beautiful monster behind, we arrive at yet another grotesque scene. A star eating its planet bit by bit. Wasp 12b, an exoplanet orbiting a yellow dwarf, has its orbit so low above the surface of its host star that its atmosphere is being ripped away by tidal forces and consumed by the yellow dwarf, giving it a comet-like tail. Wasp 12b is also unique for its absolute darkness on the surface. Its composition causes it to absorb almost all the light falling on it, making it appear almost pitch black. Generally, that's a very scary place to be because you'd be simultaneously ripped apart by the tidal forces of the star and burned to crisp by the heat and radiation. Everything in absolute darkness. Ugh. Let's move to something a little bit more friendly this time. How about something straight out of Star Wars universe? If there was an alive on Kepler 16b, which isn't likely due to immense gravity resulting from its mass being somewhat similar to that of Saturn's, its habitants could look up to the sky like Luke Skywalker on Tatooine, to see not one, but two stars on their sky. Kepler 16b was the first ever confirmed planet in a circumbinary star system, with Kepler 16a being the center host star similar to our Sun, and the smaller companion star orbiting Kepler 16a like a planet on an extended orbit. Ooh, that was a long journey so far. It would be nice to go home, but we don't need to go all the way back just yet. We can always simply visit Kepler 186f to get that nice earthy feeling, as it's the first Earth-like exoplanet discovered in what's called a Goldilocks zone, a region around its star where liquid water can exist. And liquid water, as far as the science goes, is the foundation of life as we know it. Sadly, the chance that our colleagues back on Earth will be ever able to visit this beautiful world are very low. Even though Kepler 186f is amongst best candidates for an Earth replacement in case something goes wrong here, it is also 550 light years away, meaning that if we ever wanted just to send her a message from Earth, the fastest it could get to them at the speed of light would be 550 years one way, and then 550 years back if they decided to answer. That is, if there is anyone to answer. Alright fellows, it's time to go back to Earth. Let's just hope humanity hasn't yet vanished from the surface by the time we get there. I have an idea. We should jog. If we jog, the journey back should take us only about 492 million years. See you there, and remember, stay hydrated and don't run too close to a black hole. And that's all in today's episode of Dr. Gibberish. If you have any specific place in mind where you'll go after the quarantine, please let me know in the comments below. If you have enjoyed this type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel and sharing this video with your friends, as it is the only way for our channel to grow. Until next time, I'm Alex and you're watching Dr. Gibberish.